Good morning, everyone, and welcome back once again to Elation Professional for another coffee break.
It's coffee break number 22, and we are streaming live from you here from the Netherlands, central of Europe, and it's our European headquarters. We're happy to be here with you, and we have our coffee mugs here. Get in touch with us and be interactive. Let us know what you're drinking right now, and if you have any questions during the stream, you're always welcome to send us your comments. Well, today is coffee break number 22, and it's literally Matrix Reloaded. So we will show you a creative tool and a great alternative to regular pixel walls. Let's talk about a semi-transparent LED matrix panel for your creativity, developed with our experience in IP65 and for the needs of the lighting designers.
So yes, this week we're having a look at our Cuepix 16IP effects panel fixtures. So there's two versions available. Both are equally versatile, creative, fun, and bright. And both offer a powerful eye-catching pixel or effects performance. And even better than that, both are IP65 rated, so they can perform flawlessly doing their work indoors or outdoors.
And the cameras we're using today are dimmed down to the other way around. The panels are dimmed down to 50% because the cameras would really flare out if we would have them here on full intensity. So just make sure next time when you see those panels live in actions, they are much brighter than they appear here now on camera. So again, we have them dialed down to just 15%, just to make sure you can see all the effects we're having here and you can see all the little details.
So first up today, let's introduce the fixtures. So on the left here, we meet the Cuepix 16IP. So it's a 4x4 array of pixels, and it offers a red, green, blue, and an amber color capability. We're going to look a little deeper into the color capability in just a few moments. But on the left, this is, of course, just one unit. But in the middle here, we built a small 2x2 array. And we're just going to show some dynamic pixel content as we go along today on that.
Exactly, and that's our color version of the Cuepix 16IP, and each of those panels has a brightness of approximately 6,500 lumens.
Okay, and then next up on the right-hand side, closest to Frederik, we have the Cuepix 16IP DTW. So this has the same form factor, of course, as the color version, but that DTW means dim to warm, so it offers a warm white and a amber capability. And a perfect emulation of those old school tungsten fixtures and the decay or the shift as it fades down from warm white through amber and then fades out. And again, we're going to have a little look at that shortly. We do, however, have a few other products that offer this dim to warm functionality. So if you click on videos above, if you go back to coffee break number 14, you can see our DTW blinders, which have the same processes, the same functions.
Yeah, and speaking about the other coffee breaks we recently had, there are 21 more to watch for you if you haven't seen them. So click below this video, leave us some comments, send us an email, and be really interactive with us. We would like to know where you are located right now. And as I mentioned before, what kind of coffee are you drinking right now? Yeah, and continuing with our coffee break, the dim to warm version is the tunable white version of our Cuepix 16IP, and that comes with a little bit more than 10,000 lumen, so it's really, really bright and really can fill the largest stages and areas. Yeah, and talking about the LEDs, we will be into that a little bit later.
So let's make a start with a brief overview of the product design and engineering features that both of today's fixtures actually share. So first up, pixels. So all of these units give you pixel control to get creative in achieving dynamic eye-catching looks. So maybe you would use onboard macros, or possibly a console with a pixel composer or a media engine, such as our own Dylos component that we're using today with the array that's within our Onyx software. So Dylos is really interesting because it gives you a large amount of features that you can manipulate, and it comes with quite a large amount of content, whether that be black and white, color images, animations, videos. It also has a text generator built in as well, which I think we can have a very quick look at here, just to show you. This is punched in just a couple of seconds, really, so you can see Elation scrolling across there. So yeah, check out Dylos. It's a free component within Onyx. It's ready to go, and it's super easy to use. But of course, maybe you use a dedicated media server as well, or possibly you just love programming and creating looks from scratch, pixel by pixel.
Yeah, and speaking about the dialos, that is really something easy to use and very, very easy to compose, as Alistair just mentioned. And if you go with those pixels, we have 16 pixels for each of these panels to create in a very compact size, a nice array, and to really make some special effects, which is very good for lighting designers if you do the pixel mapping, or it can be used in large walls as a background, for example, to fill a TV studio backdrop, or anything what comes up to your mind is possible with those tiles here. And like we said, 16 pixels for each panel, and then it's very easy to scale them into very, very large walls.
Yes, next up, LEDs. So both units use very carefully selected, optimized, high-quality LEDs for the highest output and the most consistent colors. And the integrated reflector, you can see, really allows each module to have an output that defies its small size. So it also helps to keep them efficient and no wasted spill. The color version uses 30-watt LEDs, whereas the DTW version uses 40-watt LEDs. But you really have to see the output in person to really see how the capability can be for these particular units.
Yeah, and going a little bit more into the details of those LEDs and the reflectors themselves, that's very important. Sometimes you might have seen panels or LED walls which have around the reflector or around the LED a little black ring. And that is caused by some heat issues in many cases. But here, in that particular solution which we have here, it is not existing because we have solved the issue about the heat. And this is due to our very special heatsink system which we have here, because both panels have no fans. They have a special convection cooling system, and that is very interesting for TV studios or many other applications where you need silent fixtures. So there are really no fans. So just make sure next time when you just compare some fixtures on the market which are similar to these ones, make sure you don't have any fans, so they're convection cooled, and make sure you don't have any black ring around the LED, because that is always an indication for high quality if the reflector is connected right onto the LED to have really a perfect optics. And later on we will show you a little bit more about that in detail.
And next, let's talk about the versatility of the units. In addition to the IP65 rating expanding their usage, all these products can be used in a number of different ways, and that's in addition to the effects capability we just mentioned with pixel control.
Yeah, and both units can be powerful wash or floodlights, as you can see here. So again, we have dimmed them down, otherwise you would be blinded a lot. They can be used for lighting up a building, a cyc effect, a stage wash, or even as an audience blinder. And the powerful output and the dynamic illuminations and colors really bathe large areas into colors, and you can just use a few of them to really fill an entire stage or a stadium. And another very interesting thing about it is they are semi-transparent. So between the LEDs, there is a little space. So you could even make a large matrix with these and place some lights behind them to create even more effects. So this option of being semi-transparent is quite interesting for many of you guys, or of many of you lighting designers out there who would give their own design an additional special effect or another layer behind these walls which you may build.
And as Frederik just mentioned, the products can easily be blinders too. So again, that raw horsepower output combined with the wide beam angles create a vibrant, dynamic look to dazzle the audience. So we'll put the intensity up a little here and just show you some of that capability. So this is still only at 30% intensity. So the units work so well as blinders, we can't really show the full potential of that today. We just have to dial down that intensity so much to avoid flaring our cameras. But the IP rating coming into play once more, if you can imagine these units at the top of an exposed stadium front truss, for example, or even on delay towers in the middle of a festival site. They're so powerful.
And that offers you another possibility. During your setup of the stage or breakdown, you can use them as work lights. So that is also something very interesting because, like we said, they are IP65, so you just leave them on during your setup or breakdown. And the units adapt to be also very, very powerful strobes. So that makes them even more versatile. You have full control about speed, you have some macros built in, or you can use your console to do the strobes. And the electronics are made for being strobes. So both is possible, strobing and blinding, or leaving them full on. So they will really stay on during your breakdown and your setup. And you can implement them very easy into your show, like we do it here, with strobing or pixel mapping and so on and so on. So in almost every situation during your show, those products can be used and they will do their job properly.
And next up, let's go back to talking about colors. So as we mentioned, the color version offers us the red, the green, the blue, and the amber array. But of course, it naturally has to do great mixed colors as well, and you actually get a really nice cyan, magenta, and yellow coming out of these fixtures as well. But it's really with the addition of that amber source that you can now get many other beautiful colors and really expand the color palette for your designs. So for example, this burnt orange looks really nice, which is typically not so easy to achieve. Or you can even have a nice range of lime shades as well. And lastly, you can even get great pastel colors and some lavenders like this. But no matter which one you choose, they can snap really quickly, or you can get really nice, slow color mixing.
And that is thanks to the Amber LED, because that makes the product and its color mixing very unique, and it helps the lighting designers to achieve their own unique design. And speaking about those little Amber LEDs, you might have seen in the close-ups that there is really no black ring around the LED, so they really look nice to the eye. You can see it right here. So you see the LED in the middle right here, and there's no black ring around it, so the reflector is connected right to the LED, and that makes them look really, really nice on camera. It's really hard to justify here, and that's why we suggest get in touch with us, ask for a demo, ask your local distributor for a demo of the product, because you will really see the full potential only when you have it right in front of you in your office, in your warehouse, or in a large stadium.
Okay, so let's move over to the DTW version now. So as we said earlier, it has dim to warm technology, and it has the modules that offer the warm white, but also the amber. But it's really a dedicated dim to warm function that really helps to emulate that old school tungsten performance with a perfect decay or shift from warm white through amber as they fade out. So let's bring the intensity up a little bit here, and we will show you that in action. So this is fully warm white, not quite full intensity. So let's start a little 5 or 6 second fade down. So you can see it reducing, and then it will fade through amber as it fades out.
Yeah, and we have positioned that a little bit out of the camera look, so you can really see into the LED. Otherwise, if we would point it directly into the camera, you would be fully blinded and you would not see this great halogen blinder style, which we can achieve with the dim to warm technology. But anyways, it looks great on camera because it really gives you this well-known and very popular halogen look, which is thanks to our DTW technology.
And finally, let's just try that in reverse. So again, you see it warming up now, and then it just comes gradually up to warm white. So it's a really nice curve.
But again, you can see here it's only at about 30% of the brightness because these panels are extremely bright, and it's not even pointing into the camera. So you can see it's completely flared out here. It looks like the sun is shining here on our stage in our showroom.
So next up, let's talk about rigging. So these units offer powerful, punchy outputs from fixtures that are engineered to be a small form factor with a low weight and a low power consumption. But we added a few features to improve the rigging of the units. So on every axis, you have these little integral pins. These allow panels to be interlocked and built and safely matched together really, really quickly. It does all the alignment for you. So it's really handy for matrix designs or arrays such as this. So this little 2x2 array, we put this together with those pins in literally about 30 seconds.
And the good thing is there are no accessories needed. So all the rigging accessories you have and you need, they are built in. So you will never lose them. You will not be short on any kind of rigging connectors or screws. So that's the great advantage. Everything what you need for rigging is built in here.
And that's not all we offer as well. Other versatile rigging options include a 90-degree adjustable and fixed yoke bracket on the back with 3 position mounting holes. You can see that image right there for you.
And you can even attach an omega bracket there if you want to, just to do some other rigging options as well. But as we mentioned before, everything is built in. And additionally, if you want to hang those panels, the only optional accessory we have is this rigging bar here, and I'll come a little closer to show you. So that one goes on top of the bars. You can interlock it here with the pins which come out of the panel. So everything, like we said, is built in already. And then you have here your 2 Omega brackets which you can put on the truss, and that's it if you want to go for any hanging options. And you can additionally use, of course, the built-in yokes which are on the backside of the panel. But this is just the only optional accessory we have for rigging. Other than that, everything, like we said, is included, so you will never be short on any screws or any kind of mounting plates. And that's a great advantage for rental companies because you don't have to count your stock, or you don't have to order any spare parts for this because everything is already included.
And it's also important to discuss the form factor that we have for the units as well. They are small enough for one person to handle and easily build arrays, courtesy of those pins, but they're big enough to make an impact as well. So you could imagine even building these things into sets, or even if you can picture our little stage here, you could build them into a drum riser or almost anything. They're very versatile. But next up, let's talk about control and connectivity. So nothing is left out for control. We have DMX and RDM on board as standard, but ClingNet and ArtNet protocols are also supported too. And we also have a variety of DMX user modes that are provided so that the fixtures adapt to your production or adapt to your working style. So for example, on the color version, you can have a simple 3-channel mode where you've just got red, green, and blue. Or alternatively, on the DTW fixture, you can literally have 1 channel that just covers intensity. But then at the other end of the scale, you can have full extended modes that give you 16-bit control of color for each and every pixel.
And of course, dimming there is very easy, and all the software features which you know from our other fixtures are built there as well, built in there as well. So you have different dimming modes and so on and so on. And for connectivity, something very important besides the great advantage of the locking system is that you have power in, power out, data in, data out, and even a service port. But the daisy chain option which we have here makes it very easy for you to save cable, to have less distro, and of course, the setup is much, much faster when you just go daisy chain from one panel to the other, because the power in, power out, data out is an option which should be available in any kind of IP65 fixtures. And here we have it, of course, so that is a very handy solution to be faster whenever you have a setup which needs to be done very, very fast.
That is a good point. There is a service port on the back, so we found an IP-rated USB connection for uploading fixture firmware. But generally for software, all the usual things are on board that we discuss regularly in our streams. So you have those dimming modes, those dimming curves. You have changeable LED refresh rates for film and TV use. You even have various macros on board as well, all offering a quick, creative help for you, selectable from your console within seconds. So it could be presets for the colors, for example, or it could even be pixel flip modes too. So these change the starting pixel and help you get a different path. So you have snaking or inverted, etc., things like that. So those help you with achieving the eye-catching looks, but they also can be used to orientate your panels in the way that you would expect them to deliver their content. And finally, we even have pulsating effects for strobing, or they're ready to call up and use within seconds.
Yeah, as you can see, we like to make your life a little bit easier and help to achieve your setup a little bit faster with all those little details we have in here. Yeah, so just make sure next time when you put your hands on some fixtures that you have all those little details to really be faster on your next job, to be more comfortable when you have those kind of fixtures in your rental inventory. And I would say that's it for now. Do we have any questions coming up?
There are no questions today, but even after we finish, feel free to post anything or even give us suggestions on what you'd like to see next time from us. We're happy to take suggestions and try and deliver something you would like to see. But that's really it for the Cuepix 16IP fixtures today. We strongly advise you getting your hands on the fixtures and seeing what they can do, and let your creativity take over.
Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. And as we mentioned, make sure you get your hands on these, because in real life, they're so much brighter than than you can imagine right now. Yeah, that's it for today with Coffee Break. It was a pleasure to be with you again, and we hope to see you very, very soon here again for Coffee Break number 23. Alistair just mentioned, send us your comments, let us know what you think, and get in touch with us. And see you very soon, and take care.
Thanks, guys.